Hi, and welcome to today's Lifelong Learning Workshop. My name is Leslie, and I work for the Purdue for Life Foundation. We're so glad to have you join us. Today, we are excited to bring you Travel with Purdue, where you're going to learn more about the advantages of group travel and some upcoming trips you might want to consider. But before I introduce our guests, I would like to take just a moment to share more about our work here at the Foundation. The Purdue for Life Foundation was established in 2020 by uniting the Purdue Alumni Association and the University Development Office. We engage alumni, friends, and fans through a variety of programs and events, including alumni clubs, affinity networks, travel and volunteer opportunities, student programs, and lifelong learning workshops and conferences. I would like to share a short video with you that talks more about the Purdue for Life Foundation.
Stay connected, get involved, give back. We help people who love Purdue do just that. The Purdue for Life Foundation was created in 2020 by uniting the Purdue Alumni Association and the University Development Office. We're here to serve and advance Purdue, working across the West Lafayette campus and far beyond it. At a high level, Purdue for Life includes the Purdue Alumni Association, President's Council, John Purdue Club, and the brand new Parents and Families Club. We also encompass Purdue Foundation Student Board and Purdue Alumni Student Experience, or PACE, the largest student organization on campus. We connect Boilermakers throughout the world to the university through region and interest-based clubs and networks. In fact, we have more than 70 alumni clubs around the country, international alumni networks in more than 100 cities across the globe, in multiple affinity networks, including Purdue Black Alumni Organization and Purdue Women's Network. And we're just getting started. What does it all mean for you? One organization is now driving and coordinating all alumni, friend, and fan-related activities, and offering you even more ways to engage with the university you love across your lifetime. We're streamlining communications and making our flagship digital magazine, Purdue Alumnus, available to all Boilermakers. We're offering a wealth of new and expanded opportunities for you to stay connected and get involved through alumni living and through lifelong learning, volunteerism, travel, and recent graduate programs. And you don't want to miss our signature events. There are countless opportunities for those who love Purdue to make an impact through giving their time, talent, and treasure. And what an impact you made during the fiscal year that just ended. The collective generosity of our Purdue family reached an all-time high. Talk about a giant leap. You are powering Purdue. Thanks to you, Purdue continues to strengthen its reputation in teaching and research while remaining affordable and accessible to brilliant young minds. And because of you, Purdue is stronger than ever. Together, through small steps and giant leaps, we can grant even more opportunities for future Boilermakers as we ensure Purdue grows ever stronger.
It's our privilege at Purdue for Life and our persistent pursuit to help people who love Purdue stay connected, get involved, and give back. On behalf of our team, thank you and Boiler Up.
So with that, let me introduce our guests today. I'm excited to be joined by Trevor Foley and Sarah Rice from the Purdue for Life Foundation travel team. Trevor and Sarah both support travel programs that send alumni and friends around the globe. Also joining us remotely is Vanessa Cheatham, one of Purdue for Life's travel partners. Today's presentation will be an introduction to group travel, including an overview of the Purdue Alumni Travel Program and the many benefits of group travel. They're also going to be highlighting some of the upcoming 2024 trips. So with that, welcome Trevor, Sarah, and Vanessa.
Again, happy to be here. Happy there's so much interest in alumni travel. This is what we do. We've done it for many years, and we'll get into a little bit more about our goal today really is to talk about our travel program, help you understand a little bit more about what we do at Purdue with the Alumni Travel Program, understand group travel, so some of the benefits of traveling as a group. And then we'll, as mentioned, we'll introduce you to a partner. We partner with many different companies. We have a partner, Vanessa from Orbridge, and she'll demonstrate some of those programs and some of the values, some of the value that we provide through these programs through demonstrating some of the specifics in a couple of selected programs today. So before we get started, just wanted to kind of show you an overview of where we offer travel programs. And not to look really at the specifics, those are all on our website, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But just to get some sense, you can look at the pinpoints there. Really, we have programs all over the world, and so hopefully we can find something that you're interested in, and we encourage you to call us, talk to us about it, and we can help you find what works for you. So with that, just wanted to explain a little bit about our program. So we've had an alumni travel program for over 30 years now. This is very common if you've graduated from other institutions. You may also get brochures from them. So this is quite a common thing that alumni associations offer. We have 50 plus programs we offer annually. So again, a lot of different options if you're interested in traveling with us. We have sponsored dates, so that means that we choose dates where we advertise and encourage alumni to travel with us on those dates. And we work with trusted travel partners. So these are companies that we know, we meet with, we understand what they're offering, and we feel comfortable offering it with our alumni. We offer a variety of trip styles, destination, modes of travel, and costs, and Sarah will get into that a little bit more in detail a little bit later. But what I hope you take away from that is that we accommodate really a large part of our alumni population. We want to make sure that we offer trips that interest you. So I think you'll find quite a variety if you look at our offerings. And then part of the alumni travel program really is that we're a travel advisor for you and an advocate. So essentially, we can help you find. You don't have to necessarily know what you want to do or where you want to travel. We can help you navigate that. We have expertise in that area. And then also, you serve, as opposed to booking directly where you're your own advocate, you have another person with us in our office that's advocating, making sure that your experience is good and that you're having the experience that you wanted to have on your trip. And the last point here on our program is about the Purdue Connection. So we offer a unique opportunity to travel, but also have a connection to Purdue, to reconnect with Purdue, to celebrate your experiences you've had at Purdue, to get to know others that love Purdue as well. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that on the next slide, but we offer lots of opportunities and various ways to do that. One of our newest offerings is with a service called Bright Crowd, where we essentially offer a digital travel ebook, sort of like a travel website, where you can get to know other travelers, you can get to know about the trip, you can share contact information, share photos. So it's a way to connect with other people before you actually meet in person on the trip. So I wanted to go over a little bit about the benefits of alumni travel. So why would you travel with an alumni group? Whether you're traveling by yourself or with a travel companion, or you're traveling with a group, there's much in common really that you share when you travel with alumni groups. We share, sometimes we have Purdue specific trips. Often we will share with other alumni associations. So you'll find that you have a lot in common. Sometimes it's other people from the same area. You have connections within the family, different degrees from different institutions. And so we find a lot of our alumni enjoy traveling with each other, not only Purdue, but other alumni associations. We facilitate group gatherings on your trips. So you'll have a chance, without having to organize it on your own, to actually connect and meet other people. We'll have receptions and dinners and sometimes excursions that you'll do together. So it's really easy to connect with other people on the trip. And so again, it doesn't matter if you're traveling on your own or with a group or with a travel companion. Hopefully you'll enjoy the experience and get to meet people without really doing a lot of that work yourself. Large groups that we have will often be hosted by university faculty or staff, and you can see in the photo here, that's our VP for engagement, Jillian Henry. That's very common when we have a large group. So you'll have a personal connection to your alma mater. You'll leave the trip having actually spent time with a staff and then a staff member of Purdue, and then in the future you have a connection that you've gotten to know this person over the course of some travel. And then lastly, working with the alumni travel program, you're supporting your institution, and also you're getting support from the university. So as mentioned, we have staff that do this. We work with you. We are your advocates. So hopefully it's a good connection then to your university. So with that, I'll introduce my colleague, Sarah Rice, to talk a little bit more about the benefits of group travel and specifically why you'd want to travel as a group.
Great. Thank you, Trevor. I'm happy to be here today to talk with everyone about one of my favorite topics, alumni travel. So we'll get started with just a few benefits, or many benefits, of group travel itself. So Trevor highlighted some of those Purdue connections you get in the alumni travel space, but this is more overall group travel. We work with about 8 different tour operators, and each one specializes in something slightly different. They offer different types of travel. So we have the cruises, river cruises, land trips, in many classic destinations such as the Mediterranean. We have domestic trips. Alaska is usually one of those classic destinations. But we also have more unique adventures such as Antarctica. We're offering the North Pole next year. This photo at the top is from the Galapagos Islands. I actually hosted a group of alumni this past March on this trip. It was very adventurous, a lot of fun. We did snorkeling, hiking, went to a lot of really cool places. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, we have those adventure type trips, but we have more of those leisure type trips as well. So I like to say that we have something for everyone, and I'm happy to help you find what you might be interested in. Next up, the convenience of group travel. Most of the details are taken care of for you by the tour company in the planning process. I know it can be really overwhelming to think about what hotel should I stay in, how am I going to get from A to B. The tour company will help organize all of those details, so it is really a stress-free process for you. And then once you're on the trip, you'll have a tour director or program manager with you the entire time. They're usually a local person who speaks the local language and is able to help guide you through those excursions and throughout the trip. I feel like that is one of the most important benefits of group travel. You really have that person with you, helping you through anything that might arise, but also enriching the experience as well. The value of the trip, as I mentioned, the convenience of the details is great, but those details are included in the cost. So your accommodations, your transport throughout the trip, sometimes your flights are included, and then other things such as excursions, local guides, tips, all included in that cost for most of our trips, which is really nice too, because that takes some of the stress out of having to pay for each individual thing. And then if you were to try to plan these trips yourself, you probably wouldn't be able to get the cost or the value that you get with the groups, because our tour operators are able to negotiate those group rates, which is great too. Then a lot of our tour operators also provide discounts, such as early booking discounts. So this is when you sign up for the trip before a certain date. We also have some paperless savings or e-booking discounts if you book online. And then there are also discounts sometimes for individuals traveling. So that's called a no single supplement. There's sometimes supplemental fees if you travel alone, but a lot of our companies offer no single supplement, so you can save in that way too. And then finally, the safety and security of traveling with a group and having that local guide with you is great. You're able to have that person who you can contact on the trip, but you also have a connection to the tour operator and us at Purdue while you're traveling. That can give you a lot of peace of mind and kind of have that security of knowing you have someone to advocate for you and to help you out if anything should arise on the trip. An example of this would be during COVID, during the pandemic. A lot of our tour operators took great safety precautions for our travelers. And then if any issues did come up, they were able to let us know in the office, and we could help you to navigate those situations too. Next up, I would like to highlight a few of our trips so you can get maybe a better example of what we do offer. The first is Legendary Turkey. This is a land trip in September, and it's through Odysseys Unlimited. This tour company focuses on small group tours, so all of their tours are less than 24 people. This trip has a wonderful itinerary. If you're ever interested in visiting Turkey, this is a great way to do it. And then, like I said, you'll have that small group where you get a lot of one-on-one time with your tour director, and they'll help guide you through all of the main sites. Next up, we have Discover Egypt in the Nile Valley. This is also a great kind of classic destination where you'll see a lot of historical sites. December is a great time of year to visit Egypt, and this one is offered through Orbridge. Finally, for this year, our last trip of the year is the holiday markets. This is a river cruise through the Rhine River. You stop at all of the Christmas well, not all, there are many, but lots of stops at the Christmas markets on the Rhine River, and you'll be on a really nice river cruise ship for this, and it's a great time to do right before the holidays. You can do some shopping. For 2024, we have many trips actually at the start of the year. So we have January, February, and March full of really great destinations. It's a great time to get away when it's winter, maybe where you are. You can go to some warmer locations. This first one is Maori Heritage in Australia and New Zealand. It is a cruise operated through our partner Go Next. They focus on ocean cruises. So you'll do a lot of stops in New Zealand, several in Australia. And it is quite a long trip, but it's a great way to see that area that may be a little farther away from where you live. Next up, the National Parks and Lodges of the Old West. This trip was really popular for us last year. It's a domestic trip. You'll get to see Yellowstone, the Grand Tetons, several national parks, and lots of wildlife on this one too. It's operated by Orbridge, and it's in June. Great time of year to visit those destinations. And then finally, I'll highlight the Portrait of Italy. This is one of our most popular trips, and this will be a Purdue exclusive departure. So all of the travelers on this trip will be Purdue affiliated, which is really fun because you get kind of your own group on the trip. And it's in April, which is a wonderful time to visit Italy. It's right before it gets super crowded, and the weather is usually great too. So that one's operated by Odysseys, and it does fill up really fast every year. So if you're interested, let me know. Next up, I'll go through some of our most frequently asked questions that I get from our travelers. First up, where can I find all of the trips? You may receive one brochure for a trip or another, and you just kind of want to see what we offer for all of our trips. So this is the link for that. We have a search feature, so if you want to go to a certain location or a certain time of year, if you know you want to go on a cruise, for example, you can filter all of the trips that way so you can see exactly what you're looking for. If you'd like to get information about all of our trips, we do have a interest form on our website. You can sign up for our mailing list. That's just purdueforlife.org/travel. You'll see it right on the front page. That's a great way to get notified when we have new announcements or special savings promotions, things like that. Next up, who can go on our trips? This is a really common question. People will ask, I'm not a Purdue alum, but can I still attend your trips? The answer is yes. We welcome anyone, Purdue alumni, friends, fans. You don't need to be an alum to travel with us, and we often have significant others, friends, family members join our trips as well. So you don't need a membership or to be a Purdue alum to use our trips. And then lastly, can I travel by myself? Yes, all of our trips you are able to travel as a solo traveler. Sometimes there are additional costs just based on room occupancy for solo travelers, but there are also many trips that don't have a single supplement, so that's a way to save if you're a solo traveler. A few more. What if I find a trip that I'm really interested in, but it's full? Most of our tour operators have waiting lists, so if you're really interested in a particular trip, you can sign up for the waiting list, and then if someone cancels, they'll go to the waiting list and book people. I know many travelers who get off of the waiting list and into trips that they're interested in, so I think it's worth it if it's something you really would like to do. Next, is travel insurance required? This is a common question that we get. The answer is no, it's not required, but it is highly recommended. We do recommend having some type of travel insurance just because of uncertainty in travel. You never know what could happen before the trip or during the trip, so it's nice to have that peace of mind with some kind of coverage. We work with USI. It's a travel insurance company that works specifically with affinity groups like university alumni associations, but you're really welcome to explore and find any insurance coverage that works for you. And then finally, can I bring my family on a trip? The answer for this is yes. We do have a few trips every year that are family focused, but we also can accommodate larger groups on many of our trips. So if you have a big friend group or some family members you would like to bring with you on a trip, we're usually able to accommodate that. A piece of advice for that would be to book as early as you possibly can, because we do tend to have more spaces available the farther out from the trip. And then a fun note is that a trip is always a great way to celebrate any special occasion. We often have anniversaries, birthdays, or other really fun things that people want to celebrate through travel. So if you have any other questions, you're welcome to put them in the chat and we're happy to answer them at the end. Otherwise, if you think about a question later on, my contact information is on the screen. So feel free to email or call if you would like that travel kind of advisor or just have some more questions about our trips. So thank you. I will now pass it over to Vanessa. Vanessa Cheatham is the Senior Director of Sales at Orbridge, and she's going to talk a little bit more about some specifics of her group travel programs.
I hope all of you can see that okay. I just wanted to tell you a bit about Orbridge. We just celebrated our 15 years in the educational travel business. We only operate in the educational affinity market. So whenever you're traveling with Purdue, you'll only be traveling with Purdue travelers or other travelers from colleges and universities. Alumni associations, very, very few, but occasionally a zoo or a museum, but primarily about 95% of your travelers will be from fellow universities and Purdue. We're a family-owned business, and our team is located just outside of Seattle, Washington. We have a team of about 40 located outside of Seattle. And as Sarah and Trevor mentioned, that team includes a very robust guest services team, as well as an operations team that handles all of the details of your trip. My team, we interface with all of the colleges and universities, and then all of the support services as well. We work with about 140 alumni associations and colleges. So again, really dedicated to this business and creating unique opportunities for you to experience the world with your alma mater. And we've been working with Purdue for over a decade. I've been working with Orbridge for about 12 years, and we began working with Purdue just after I started. So it's a long partnership and a really trusted and appreciated partnership from Orbridge. So what makes the Orbridge and Purdue partnership special? I just wanted to make some notes here about some of the services that Orbridge will provide to you as our Purdue traveler. Again, our guest service team, they've experienced all of the tours that you're going to go on. You'll meet your guest services manager at the start of your reservation process. And so you'll have a single point of contact that will be able to answer your questions, help you with any special arrangements you might need, like dietary restrictions or a mobility need or a special rooming request. They're there to assist you from beginning to end. That also includes our air agents. We have an air partner that will assist you with making any flights that you need. And they also, as part of that service, will monitor any changes, so you don't have to. We know that air changes are, the new normal, unfortunately. And so having these air agents working for you on your behalf is really a wonderful service. We're dedicated to providing rich educational content to you, our traveler, and that includes expedition libraries, which you would receive prior to your program, and it's curated just to enhance the educational content of the program. It might include a novel and perhaps a field guide, just several items that we send to you so you can get acquainted with your destination. We also have some flavors programs, which are in Europe, and I'm going to tell you about our flavors of Northern Italy, which Purdue will be offering in 2024. But for that, we offer a wine gift from the vineyards that we visit as our early booking gift to you. One of the advantages of traveling with Purdue and Orbridge is the access that we can provide. And one of the ways that we do provide access is through our travel directors and expedition leaders. They are experts in your destination, and they will be with you from the moment that you arrive at the airport to the moment that you depart. Some of these, for example, on one of the programs I'll tell you about today, our National Parks program, we have retired parks rangers that are leading your tour. So, they offer a really unique perspective, having lived in many cases and worked in the parks for decades and decades. And again, just some of those tailored amenities that I had mentioned earlier, like dietary needs or, an early, a pre-night or a post-night, a special transfer request to get you to the hotel. All those are handled by our team. And on to some of the destinations that Purdue has chosen for 2024. Trevor and Sarah have done a great job of offering a wide variety. So I truly believe that both amongst the Orbridge offerings, but also with the other operators that they've chosen, all of whom are excellent, excellent operators, you'll have a wide variety of choices depending on your interest. This one happens to be Orbridge's most popular tour to the Galapagos Islands, and Sarah actually led Purdue's departure last year. So certainly you can contact her for more specific details, but it is one of my very favorite destinations. I've been several times, and it's my favorite for a lot of reasons, but in particular, it offers a wide variety of activities, as well as some really nice cultural components on this. So we begin our tour actually in Quito, Ecuador for 2 days, where you'll have quite a bit of cultural exploration. You'll be guided through Quito, and you'll be able to visit some of the oldest sites in Quito. You'll also visit the markets there, which are incredibly interesting. You'll meet with some local artisans and owners of local markets who will tell you about their life and work in Quito and some of the goods that they sell and create as well. And then it also includes, after we depart Quito, it includes a 5-day, 4-night exploration and cruise through the islands. The access to the various species in the islands is really unprecedented on this tour. You can see these are all photos from recent departures, and you can really get quite close to the species that you're seeing. You'll have 3 expert naturalists that are actually native to the Galapagos Islands. They're leading you through the wonders of the national park, through the whale sanctuary, through the marine reserve that we'll visit, through the Darwin Research Center. And so, again, you have unprecedented access to the islands. Your accommodations for this adventure are aboard the Isabella II, which is a small ship. It's a 40-passenger sailing vessel with lovely cabins and incredible staff that are really dedicated to your comfort and convenience, and fantastic local cuisine. It's local Ecuadorian cuisine, very, very fresh. The staff is really second to none. I can't say enough about how wonderful that team is on board. The wonderful thing about this small ship is that it allows us the flexibility in the itinerary to maximize our wildlife viewing. And it also allows us access to special exclusive ports. This is, I will say, a fantastic, that's a picture of the Isabella II in the upper right-hand corner. Quito is in the bottom left. This is a great family destination. So we have lots of multi-generational travelers joining us for these tours in 2023 and 2024. It offers, again, a variety of activities every single day. Some of those include kayaking, hiking, snorkeling. We'll go on skiff rides with our expedition leaders every day. So it keeps the whole family busy in a lot of different ways. And the ship allows for supreme comfort. And with a small hot tub, a beautiful deck where you can read, dine al fresco. There's a small library on board and a lounge. So really very, very comfortable ship for the entire family. Moving right, and I'm glad to take questions about any of these destinations after I wrap up all of them. Moving right along. This is our Flavors of Northern Italy tour. And this is truly a cultural immersion for all of the senses. You would join your Purdue group of no more than 18 travelers, but it could be, as small as 14 or 15 travelers to the culinary and cultural heart of Northern Italy. It's right around Verona. You can see on the map there, we fly into and out of Verona. And it's actually an unpack once tour. So you're able to really settle in and explore this region. I like to think about our flavors tours like a bicycle wheel. And so the center is Verona, where we stay for our 9-day, 8-night tour. But then we spoke out every day and we explore all those areas on that map in a really intimate way. So our location for the week, you can see it in the upper right-hand corner, is a beautiful wine estate. It's just outside of Verona, and it's called Selva Capuzza. We're greeted by the owner of the vineyard, Luca, who really spends the week with us, introducing us to his grapes, to his vineyard. He'll do tastings throughout, tell us about his life and work. The vineyard's been in his family for decades and decades. And each day is really highlighted by different experiences that allow us, I think, quite an intimate way of seeing the Italian way of life. Some of those experiences, I just wanted to give you a little more taste of what you're going to see and do. So, for example, in the Valpolicella wine region, we visit a family-owned vineyard that's been operated for almost a century. We meet with the vintners, the owner of the vineyard, and we're able to do a tasting with them. They'll walk us through the vineyards. We have courses paired with our wine tastings, and they present how their winemaking has been passed down throughout their family for generations and generations. We'll also enjoy a special excursion near Modena, and we'll taste some aged balsamic vinegar. We're hosted at the owner of the vinegar shop's family, and we share a meal with him. This family has been operating for over a century, and so you literally climb the stairs to his shop, and there are hundreds of small barrels of the vinegar that we're able to taste. We're able to talk with him and his mother about their life and work in Modena. It's just so intimate and special, something that you couldn't access otherwise. In addition, of course, in addition to the food, which is always a treat and, a unique way to experience the culture, you'll also be able to enjoy some history and culture there. You'll see Juliet's balcony in Verona from Shakespeare's most famous work. There's a cruise on Lake Garda. We have a cooking class with a family that's known for the amarone that they make, and they actually teach us how to make a risotto amarone. And then we spend the evening with them tasting and learning about their wine, and also tasting the risotto with them. So it's just one of many, many excursions on this tour that offer us a unique and special insight into Northern Italy. And Sarah briefly mentioned this tour, the National Parks and Lodges of the Old West. And I wanted to make sure I mentioned this in addition to the 2 international tours that I briefly spoke about, because this tour is always a popular hit with Purdue alumni. In 2024, I think very, very wisely, Trevor and Sarah have chosen to offer a variety of national parks programs. So this is one of 3 that will be offered. The other 2 are to the Southwest National Parks, and we'll also head over to California parks as well. But this one we've been offering with Purdue for almost a decade, and it is hugely popular, as I mentioned. We explore alongside alumni and friends America's West National Parks. So some of those would include the Badlands, Custer State Park, Yellowstone, and the Grand Tetons. And throughout, you can see throughout this journey, we'll arrive into Rapid City. We'll travel through South Dakota and Wyoming over to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and throughout this tour have a variety of experiences and stay at some of the iconic lodges that are located within the parks. That is one advantage to seeing the parks with Orbridge and Purdue. All of the properties that we are staying at are located in the park. So it allows you access that you normally wouldn't have. You're literally steps away from some of the geothermal activity. Well, I hope that's not too scary, but steps away, from Old Faithful Geyser and so on. So you really cut down on a lot of the travel time, traveling into the park in the morning and out at night. You're right there, and you can get up in the morning. You can go for walks in the park, leisurely hikes. It's a unique way to see the parks. Some of the other highlights: we enjoy a Jeep safari at Custer State Park, which is a wildlife reserve where bison herds roam and they literally wander all over quite close to the Jeeps. Obviously, you're very safe, but it's thrilling. We visit the world's largest mammoth site where scientists are you actually are watching them actively excavate the woolly mammoth remains from 26,000 years ago. You spend guided time with your expedition leader and some other guides from Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse Memorial. As I mentioned, you'll be able to explore Yellowstone's volcanic activity and geothermal sites, including the Old Faithful Geyser and Mammoth Hot Springs as well. And one of my favorite parts of the park, we spend 2 days towards the conclusion of the tour in Grand Tetons, which is stunningly beautiful, I think. As I mentioned, you're staying at lodges, the iconic properties within these national parks. And for example, Custer State Game Lodge, was the summer home of President Calvin Coolidge, built in 1927. Eisenhower would stay there many, many summers. So there's unique beauty, but there's also quite a bit of history at these lodges that are so special. And your guides will lead you throughout and be able to tell you all of that history that you're able to see and access so closely. At Orbridge, another advantage that we extend to our Purdue travelers and our alumni partners, a 30-day refund guarantee. We do have a very flexible refund and cancellation policy, and we'll detail that for you whenever you make your reservation. But again, that's available to you. And another important aspect of Orbridge is our commitment to the planet. We, for the 5th year, will plant 100,000 trees to offset our carbon footprint. We also partner with local companies and ground team operators that are committed as well to our passion for sustainability, including our partners in the Galapagos Islands and Northern Italy. So there's more details about that on our website under our sustainability link. So if that's important to you too, I just encourage you to check out some of the specifics there about our partners on the ground. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trevor, Sarah, and Vanessa. That was very interesting. And I don't know how anybody chooses a trip. I mean, I want to go on all of them now. It's like, oh, that's cool. That sounds cool.
Well, that's what we want.
Yeah, we have a couple questions for you. Somebody wants to know the best way to get most updated travel information. They say they get mailings, but it's often after the trip is full. Is there a live calendar on your website that they can review?
Yes, yep. The link to the upcoming trips on our website. You see
Just
me?
making sure you had your
Yep, I have my mic. The link to the upcoming trips that I mentioned in my FAQ slides, just purdueforlife.org/travel/upcoming trips. You can see the up-to-date information, and then all of the trips are on there, so you don't have to wait to receive the brochure to find out information. So that's great if you're looking for a particular place or type of trip. You can see it all online.
Thank you. So I put in the link, the purdueforlife.org link for you, so you should be able to go there and see that. Do you have any adult-only trips?
Most of our trips are adult only. I would say very rarely do we have children travel with us. Those family-oriented trips are more likely to have children, but the majority of our trips are adults.
Okay. Somebody says they typically steer away from boat trips due to seasickness, but the Galapagos Island boat looked like a lot of fun. Do people often get seasick on that boat?
From my personal experience, there was one day the waters were a little rocky. Most of the time it was fine. I did have some alums on my trip who did get seasick, but with their patches and their, non-drowsy medicine, they were fine on the trip. So if you come prepared, I think you'll be fine. It is really a wonderful experience, and the boat is really cool.
That looked neat. Trevor, you had mentioned, was it called Bright Space earlier? People are wondering, Bright Crowd, how you sign up for that?
So it happens automatically. Basically, once you register for a trip, a few weeks before the trip, you'll get an invitation to join this platform. The important kind of thing to to know is it's a private space just for travelers from this group, so it's not a public Facebook page or something like that. It's just for this group, and then you can share information about yourself. You can upload photos. You can share contact information. So you can share as much or as little as you would like, but it's a good place to interact with travelers on the trip and kind of get to know, see faces before you actually meet people. And then afterwards, you can stay in touch. You can upload, as I mentioned, photos there as well. So it's a way to kind of stay in touch with your group, but you don't have to do anything in advance. We will send all that information to you.
Perfect. Somebody's asking about the holiday market trip that Sarah talked about, December 10th through the 18th. Would pricing be on the website?
Yes, yep. There's the most updated itinerary and pricing on our website. It links to our partner AHI's website, and they have a lot of detailed information on there.
And I'll add that I'm planning to host that trip, so you now have a familiar face that you've seen. We'd love to have you on the trip.
Fabulous. And thank you, Vanessa. Vanessa just shared the link to the Orbridge and Purdue tours, so thank you for putting that into the chat. I don't see any other questions that have come in. Any closing remarks, anything the three of you want to share before we sign off today?
Just to feel free to reach out to me if you have questions or want to discuss anything travel related. I'm always happy to talk with our potential and current travelers.
I want to thank our partner, Vanessa Cheatham and Orbridge. As mentioned, we have a lot of great partnerships, and we really value these partnerships. Thank you for your time today and walking through some of the trips. And we hope to see many of you on this session today on future trips. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was wonderful. What a great opportunity for Purdue fans, friends, alumni to participate and enjoy group travel. It sounds like there's a lot of advantages to it. So this has been great. Thank you. Hopefully we'll see everybody next time on Lifelong Learning. Thanks. See you next time.
Thank you.